Now we will talk about the compliance of the lungs. So first of all, we will discuss the concept of the compliance in a very beautiful example. What is compliance? If we get a rubber in when we were during childhood, we used to play with the rubbers, and if we stretch the rubber, those rubber which can stretch easily have high compliance. Mean those rubber which can stretch something. I have to make rubber. Wait. Suppose this is a rubber. Okay. If this rubber with the low pressure can stretch easily, can stretch more, then this rubber have high compliance. And those rubber which can stretch with the high pressure have low compliance. Okay, if on this rubber I put a very low pressure about 1 centimeter of water, then this rubber is fully stretched. Okay, and if another rubber, okay, I don't have a rubber. Oh yes, I have another rubber, and this rubber, if I push this rubber to +2 and +3 centimeter of water, then this rubber stretch fully stretched. So it means this rubber have low compliance because it requires more pressure for full saturation. Okay, and this rubber require very low pressure for the full saturation, and this rubber have a very high compliance. So this is the Imran saying. During HIV/AIDS awareness conference, I was the active member, and I was also the vice director in the education activities of Adam University. So this is something another talk. Now, come to the point. So the compliance is the change of volume per unit change in pressure. Okay, mean देखें, look here. If pressure is low, then the pressure and compliance are inversely proportional. If pressure is low, compliance is high, and if pressure is high, then compliance is low. Okay. So what is the compliance? Compliance is the ability of the lungs to stretch or expand for each unit increase in transpulmonary pressure. Compliance depends on elastic forces of the lungs due to lung tissues, because lung tissues are made up of elastic fibers and they provide elastic force to stretch or to contract the lungs. Okay, and the surface tension also provide the expansion and stretching of the lung tissue. We will discuss these two forces in detail. So, first of all, the lung tissue provide compliance of the lungs because lung tissues are made up of elastic fibers. Okay. So these elastic fibers play an important role during the stretching and expansion of the lungs. And the surface tension. So look here, how the surface tension play an important role in the compliance of the lungs. So compliance depends on elastic forces of lungs due to lung tissues, because lung tissues are made up of elastic fibers and they provide elastic forces and surface tension. And now we will briefly elaborate that how the surface tension work as the elastic force. First of all, we will discuss about the surface tension, that when the alveoli are filled with the water molecules, suppose this is the alveoli, and these these alveoli are filled with the water molecules, with the water. So the water molecules on the surface have attraction for each other. Due to this attraction, these water molecules pulls each other towards itself. Due to this reason, the alveoli stretch inside the alveoli. Due to this reason, the alveoli contract towards itself. Okay, the layers of the alveoli contract because due to the surface tension of the water molecules. Once again, when the alveoli are filled with the water molecules, then the water molecules on the surface of the water have attraction for each other to pulls towards each other. So due to this reason, they provide a force which contract the alveoli. So this is known as surface tension. Number D, tools of the mechanics of the pulmonary ventilation mean that number fourth tool is surface tension. Okay, and surface tension also play an important role as an elastic force to contract the lungs alveoli. Hope so you get my point. For example, you know, when the water molecules, when the rain is coming, recently rain is coming outside, but now the rain is finished, I think, it's a conchilla. When the water molecules calm down, the water molecules do not come to the ground, to the earth as a fog. Rather, they come to the earth as a water droplets because the water molecules have attraction for each other. Okay, so due to this attraction, these alveolar membranes are contracted. Hope so clear. Now we will discuss the compliance of the lungs in the diagram so that you can understand very well. We have two scenarios: when the lungs are filled with the saline solution and when there is no saline solution, only air. Okay, when there is only air, then there is a direct contact of the water with the air. When there is no saline solution, then there is a direct contact of the water molecules with the air. So in this case, the surface tension effect is present. Okay, the surface tension effect is present. And that's why the lungs have to perform more work. That's why pleural pressure decreases up to -5 centimeter of water to expand, to provide the suction pressure to expand the lungs at the resting level. Okay, so in this case the pleural pressure increases so that they can perform work against the surface tension to expand the lungs. And in this case, when the lungs are filled with the saline solution, here the lungs are filled with the saline solution, so there is no direct contact of the air with the water molecules. So the surface tension effect is not present here. Here the surface tension effect is present. That's why lung have to perform more work in this case, and in this case lungs do not have to perform more work. So the purpose of discussion is that which alveoli have more compliance. Okay, you can tell me which alveoli. Okay, let me draw some another alveoli. This is another alveoli. This is all alveoli. No saline solution, and this alveoli have saline solution. So which alveoli have more compliance? This alveoli have more compliance because on little pressure this alveoli expand very easily, and in this case the effect of surface tension is present, and we have to provide a very large negative pressure to keep the lungs expand. Okay, to keep the expansion of the lungs. Hope so you get my point. Now at the last we will discuss the difference between the surface tension and surfactant. So what is the difference between the surface tension and surfactant? These are the same things? No, these are the different things. So don't be confused between the surface tension and the surfactant. Surface tension is due to the water molecules which are present on the surface. Okay, and these molecules causes the contraction of the alveoli. But the surface tension is a surface active molecule, which reduces the surface tension of the water molecule. And previously in my first lecture, which is the embryology, we have discussed that the type 2 epithelial cell secrete the surfactant which were phospholipid. Okay, so here they will secrete the surfactant and they cover about 10% surface area of the water molecules. Okay, and these surfactant decreases the surface tension of the water molecules. Without the surfactant, the surface tension of these water molecules is almost 50 dynes, okay, per centimeter. But with the presence of surfactant, the surface tension of these molecules decreases up to 30 dynes per centimeter. Okay, so surfactant is a surface active molecule which reduces the surface tension of the water molecules.